Hey folks, welcome back to another informational video with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today we're taking a look at the Troglodytes enemy box, a new expansion set for Massive Darkness coming out from CMON Ltd. And let me tell you, this is a video that is only really concerned about showing you what's in the box. Yeah, I'm going to say what I like and dislike about some of these things. But for the most part, this is simply just giving you the opportunity to take a peek inside the box at the different cards and what the stats are of the guys and everything like that before you drop the change on the product. So without further ado, let's get to it. And so here we have the Troglodyte Brutes and the Bloodseeker Minotaur. Wow. The Bloodseeker Minotaur is probably, out of the expansion boxes that we've done so far, this is probably my favorite model. I've always had a soft place in my heart for Minotaurs, but I don't know why. They just have always been just one of the coolest looking monsters in like D&D or something like that. I even had a character that was a Minotaur one time in one of the D&D campaigns that I went through in high school. But this guy is just awesome looking. I love the axe. I love the horns. I love his armor. Just everything about this guy is just really, really cool to me. And so this is my favorite model so far out of all these expansion things that I've been seeing. So great model, goes without saying almost. Now the lesser roaming monster version, he has no less than 5 hit points. So 5-player game, 25 hit points. He's rolling 2 red dice for melee, and then he's rolling 2 green dice for defense, which are the better ones. And this one then says that whenever the Minotaur is attacking, it moves 2 zones towards the attacker as if it had slippery. If it enters the attacker's zone, the attacker takes 1 wound. So it's kind of like he's rushing the guy and he's going to run into you first before he starts swinging that big old axe at him. The greater version, he's going to be dealing out 2 wounds whenever he makes that charge attack moving towards you. He has no less than ×7, so he's got 35 hit points in a 5-player game. He's rolling 3 reds and a yellow for attack, and he's got 3 greens. Oh man, this guy is nasty. I like him though. Very cool. The Troglodyte Brutes over here. Here is the boss for the mob. Kind of a shaman-looking type guy. Reminds me of some depictions of Merlin from Arthurian legends, but he looks pretty cool. Leaning on that staff, looks kind of weak, but that's all right. He's got all these guys protecting him, and they don't look weak at all. These Troglodyte Brutes are pretty cool looking. I love the axes, the double-bladed axe with that shield, and they look pretty awesome. Actually, I like these models. Now, as far as how they play in the game, level 1, they each have 2 hit points. Not bad. 1 yellow die for attack and 1 blue for defense. Pretty weak. They only have 1 model coming out each, but they are a little bit stronger. Their ability here in shadow mode, so if they're in the shadow zone, they have defensive blank results get +1 shield. So they're always going to be blocking hits. That's pretty nasty, because you're having to do 2 hit points at level 1 to knock them out. So that's pretty nasty in and of itself. Here, level 2, this actually ups to +2 shields. So they're even harder to hit here. This doesn't change, nor does this. Their defense hasn't changed either, but they are rolling 2 yellow dice for attack now. So that's nasty. Level 3, their hit points go up to 3. Now they're rolling 2 blue dice for defense, and they're rolling 1 each, a red and a yellow for attack. And these guys are really bumping up here. Now this one, forgot to say this, but their defense goes up to just +1 shield, period. And then here, +2 shields. They don't even, not blank dice, they just always have 2 shields. Wow, that's awesome. Now here, this one says they're doing 2 reds and 1 yellow, and 1 and 1 for a green and a blue for defense, and their hit points are 3. Dude. Oh, wow. Okay. Now the defense is if they roll 3 sunbursts, they have +5 shields. Wow. And in shadow mode, defense +2 shields and +1 sunburst. Dude. All right, 2 yellow, 2 red for attack, 2 green, 2 blue for defense, and 3 hit points. Hopefully these guys don't come up on level 5, because that would be not fun. Well, let's get to the other side. And here we have the Troglodyte agent that's going to come out in level 4, possibly. His model is pretty cool and collected, I would say. He's just kind of waiting for you to come at him, seeing what you want to do first before he makes his plan of attack. He's got some ideas. He's got some skills and experience. He's just waiting for you to make the first move. But a lot of good detail. Again, that static pose, I don't know. He should be brandishing those weapons, not just, you know, leisurely holding them by his side. But there you have that. As far as gameplay is concerned, he's pretty nasty. He's got 4 hit points per player. So 5-player game, 20. And he's rolling 2 yellows and 1 red for attack. He's got 3 blue defense dice. In shadow mode, he is going to get +2 wounds for attack and +2 shields for defense. And then here it says at the end of the enemy's phase, you're going to spawn a guard on the level token of this tile. So wherever he is, there's going to be some guards showing up pretty much. So we need to get him taken care of pretty quick. He'll bring a lot of people with him. So he's a nasty little guy. Over here we have the Troglodyte warriors. This is the boss for that mob. Now this is what I'm talking about. He's got those swords out. He's ready for business. He's got a bunch of armor on and he's staying warm with that wool. So this guy's ready to do some damage. This is the kind of thing that I like to see for models. He's ready to go, get to work. These guys are also pretty cool. Little bit of bendy in that sword, but again, a little hot water will take care of that. And this is just a cool looking model. I love the two-handed sword, the broadsword, very cool looking. Very almost Roman-esque how that sword looks. I like it. It's almost a staff, how big that hilt is. Anyway, it's a cool model. I like it a lot. Now, the Troglodyte warriors here, they're going to come with... first of all, I want to show this to you. Each of their cards have this little, almost a green-looking symbol there. There's no... It's a misprint. I'll put it that way. It's a misprint. So there are going to be replacement cards for all 5 of these cards here, and I just happen to have those as well. So this is what the replacement cards are going to be doing. They're going to replace all of these. If you look through here, you see how the printing was just not correct on these things. So you've got these 2 down here, and this, the difference there, that's what they're replacing with these replacement packs. So I'm going to go ahead and show you those. Just realize that these are replacement cards that you'll have to get if you decide to get the Troglodyte box. All right, so first of all, we have the Troglodyte warriors here. 1 hit point, 1 yellow, 1 blue for defense, and then they're also going to be getting 1 blue die if they're in shadow mode. So that's going to be 2 blue dice in the shadow zones, only 1 in light zones though. So that's pretty cool. Level 2, they keep that 1 hit point. They're rolling 2 yellows now, but in shadow zones they're getting another one. So in shadow zones they'll roll 3 yellow dice, not just 1. Over here they're getting 2 blue dice normally. In the shadows they'll get 3 blue dice. So that's pretty nasty. Over here, still keeping that 1 per model, but 2 are going to come out for each character. So if there's 5 characters, you're going to be facing 10 of these guys. Shadow mode defense +1 blue, shadow mode attack +2 yellow, so 3 yellow dice and 1 red die. And so these guys are pretty nasty. Here we have shadow mode +1 green and +1 red for attack. Wow, 2 reds and 2 yellows in shadow zone. They've got 2 hit points now, and they're rolling 1 green and 1 blue in the light zones, 2 green and 1 blue in the shadow zones. So again, not to be thought lightly of. Here we're getting 2 green defense dice in shadow zones plus the 3 blue that they're normally going to get. And then they're getting 2 reds and 2 blues in light zones, 3 red and 2 blue and 2 yellows, I'm sorry, in shadow zones for attack. 10 are coming out in a 5-player game, and then they each have 2 hit points each. These guys are nasty, really, really nasty. All right, let's get back up top. Now, that's cool. Out of the 3 that I've done this week for these Massive Darkness expansion box, the Troglodytes are my favorite by far. I love the fact that you can have other enemies in the dungeon that aren't like monsters. These are just dudes that are in there, and they're after maybe the same thing that you're after, or maybe they're hired by the people you're trying to stop. I don't know. You can fill in the cracks there, but basically this is my favorite expansion box so far for Massive Darkness. I love the Minotaur. Now, I already told you why. I've always liked Minotaurs for some reason. I don't know what it is. But I love the axes and the shields that these guys have. I love how the huge swords that they're wielding almost looks unwieldy. See what I did there? But I just love the look of these guys. This is my favorite enemy box so far. I don't know what else is going to be out there or what we're going to be going through as far as informational videos are in the future, but so far, this one is my favorite. Hopefully you have a little bit more information to make a better informed purchase. That's my goal here. So we'll see you guys on the flip side.